I had to take a break there. So here we go. So I just gonna bucket fill the pants. And again, I'm gonna stick them underneath the other layers and maybe just move them a little bit. There. Okay, so now the legs. And again, we want this character to look like he is walking sideways. So I'm gonna do the legs. And I'm using the pen tool. You should probably be using the pen tool. But if you're to the point where you're watching this video, you probably should just rush it. And yeah, you'll lose a few points, but you really this is really about the animation. That's really what's kind of key, and that you're doing everything in the right order and all that stuff. So I'm not going to take off a lot of points for that. So for the next layer, I'm going to do a left leg. I'll say front leg, because left and right, it's hard for me to remember, because I don't know if I'm talking about his left or my left. So front leg, and I will do this. Oh, my hand slipped, sorry. And I'll just go ahead and do the shoe later. There we go. Beautiful. Wow, what an amazing leg. Let me bucket fill that. And probably the easiest thing to do would be to copy and paste it for the other layer. But let me put the shoe on too, because I definitely want the shoe to be part of the same layer. And on this shoe, I will... I should have done the shoe first. It's fine. I just have to make sure I stay right along. Ugh, it's gonna look ugly. There. Oh wow, that's a beautiful shoe. Alright, I'm gonna make the shoe, this color. Okay. Now I want this to be underneath the hips so that it looks like that. And I would like to erase that section right there, although I have a feeling it's gonna come back on us when we go to do our animation. But whatever. We'll get rid of it for now. Okay, now I'm going to take this leg and I'm gonna just copy and paste this layer. So to do that, I think no, you can't. Just Control C, Control V. No, that didn't work. So I'll just select everything on this layer. Let me make sure my hips are locked because I don't want to copy those. I'm going to copy it. Control C, make a new layer, and I'll just say back leg. Control V, and let me flip those. So I have to take another break. I will see you soon. I'm back. So I reordered these, so the front one's in the front, the back one's in back. And on the back one, I can go ahead and leave that line there. I think that's okay. So let's see how we look now. All right, that's something. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start doing the steps now to animate. And to do that, I want to create my symbols. And let's go ahead and go to the eyeballs layer. Select all that. Oops. Come back here to scene 1. Okay, so I'll just select all those. Hit F8 to make this eyeballs a symbol. There we go. Done. Locked. Let's go down to the arm. And unlock the arm layer. And create a symbol. Arm. Done. I don't have to do the mouth, I've already done it. Legs. Ay, come on. Alright, so locking the arm, gonna scroll down here to front leg. They do need to be separate, select it all. And make sure you got that shoe selected. So I'll do front leg and lock it, and back leg. Selected, hit F8, back leg, and there we go. Now, this next step is I'm gonna take the whole thing and I'm gonna turn it into a symbol. Sometimes when you do this, things kind of reappear, like lines and stuff that you don't want. So if it doesn't look right, we may have to go back and kind of recreate a few more symbols, like for the head and stuff. But let's take a look. So I'm just gonna do entire body. All right, so one of the things that did happen was we did have that occur, and that's not really what I want. So I'm going to Control Z that. And I'm going to go ahead and just create a symbol for the hips before I do anything else. Even though I'm not going to animate it, it seems like it tends to work a little bit better when I go to put the whole thing together. So let's try it again. Alright. All selected, entire body, and... yeah, the problem with that one though, now is the shirt is going on top, underneath the hips, so I don't want that. So I'm going to select the shirt, make it one. A symbol, shirt. Let's try now. Alright, good enough. Whatever. Okay. And again, I'm going to be pretty darn forgiving on this assignment. I know this is how difficult this is. I really just want to see your character move and walk across the stage or dance or whatever you want him to do. So we now have one symbol. And what's interesting, not interesting, but unfortunate, is now all of other layers are useless. They're gone. They're deleted. Once you create a symbol, it puts it all in one layer. So I might as well just delete, oops. I might as well just delete all these other layers. I'll just select them all. Okay, let's try that again. Hit the trash can. There we go. And I don't need the mouth layer either. No, I don't. Okay, so I got the entire body, and I'm going to double click on it. I'm now in the entire body symbol, and now I can start making these little looping animations. I'll go ahead and start with the mouth. So I'm going to make this entire thing last, let's say 40 frames. And I want everything to happen in 40 frames. The feet moving, the eyes, and the arms. Now, if I wanted to, I could do it half that. I could do 20. As long as it's a multiple and it goes into that number, that's fine. So I'll just choose that for now. Now, every 10 frames, I'll just go ahead and just do a new mouth movement. So I'll start off, I'll take the mouth, and I'll start off with a smile. And then I'll go to frame 10, insert a keyframe, and deselect, get rid of the mouth, and let's do mouth half open. And then, oh, that's a big mouth. Did I get? Whatever, it'll be funny. Okay, frame 20. Let's insert another keyframe. Deselect everything, erase that, and let's have a mouth open. Oh my gosh, that's a huge mouth. All right, let's go to frame 30. I could resize these, but I don't care to right now. So, back to mouth smile. And maybe on frame 40, insert keyframe. I'll just keep that smile looping, because there we go, blah, blah. All right, so that's what our animation looks like so far. And that's actually, those are actually pretty slow, but whatever. All right, now let's animate the eyes. Double click on them. And I'm going to make a motion tween. When you create a motion tween, it'll ask you some questions. That's fine. It says, it basically creates this motion path. And right now, the motion path is doing nothing. It's all staying in one spot. Now I'm going to go 40 frames, just like before. And halfway through, I'm going to go to the other side. And I'm just going to use the arrow keys to move them. Maybe I'll go up a little bit. And then back on frame 40, I want to go back to where I started. Now, if you want to use the help of, not that. If you want to use the help of your onion skin, I don't know what that's going to look like, but that's not going to be too useful. Maybe I can move this part. Yeah, onion skin's not going to be too helpful, so I'm going to turn that off. But it's going to be more or less back in where it started. You can see that right there, so that's fine. Let's go back to the entire body. And let's move onto the arm. Double click on it. On the arm, I want to use the bone tool. And sometimes when you try to use the bone tool, especially if you're zoomed out, you're going to notice that it kind of snaps all over the place. It's always doing its own thing. So what I did is I went up to my view, snapping, and I turned all these off. Well, actually, I didn't, but I turned a couple of them off. So that seemed to help. Okay, so let's try it. Using the bone tool, you go to the elbow. You let go. You click again on there. You go to the hand. You let go. Now, if that happened like that, in good shape. If it didn't happen like that, you better call me over, because there's probably some incredibly complicated issue we gotta fix. But all right, so we made our armature. This is our pose. So let's see. When you're walking, your arm kind of swings back and forth. So let's say that we start off in this position, and it's kind of cool how it all moves together like a little skeleton. We'll start off in this position. And then on frame, again, we're going 40 frames for everything. So let's say an arm swing happens every 40 frames. We'll insert a pose here and move it back. Now I want to go back to frame 1 now on frame 40. I want it to look the same. So I'm going to insert a pose. I'm going to copy this pose. And I'm going to paste that pose right here. Sometimes when you try to copy a pose, just be careful. If you have this selected, it won't copy a pose because it's got the whole thing selected. So just deselect it and just right click on it. Don't click on this first when you go to copy a pose. But anyway, now what's going to happen is it goes back and forth. And that's what I want. Let's do the legs. Double click on the front leg. And you know how bad I am at this, so we'll just have a good laugh here while I try to animate this. But I'm just doing a 1, 2, 3, a bone here and a joint there, so that they'll be able to bend in those spots. And you'll notice that it's popped up now above the hips, like I did not want it to, but what are you gonna do? All right. So let's get the pose ready. So we're walking forward, and when you take a step, I don't know, you might want to go online now and kind of think about how this is going to look, but let's just say that this is going to be extended out here in the front on the beginning. And then, I don't know, there's probably more than just a swing, so probably I need to do more than just halfway through insert a pose. I should probably be doing more stuff with this rather than just front and back. I've seen some students who have kind of done intermediaries where it kind of swings in different areas, and it looks really realistic. But go online if you want to get good at that, because that's not my thing. I'm going to copy this, paste it, and there we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. I'd like to see a little bit more bending. I don't know. I just can't picture it in my head. It's just not my thing. Maybe like that. Whatever. All right. Let's go back to entire body. Let's do the other leg. And insert. Oh yeah, we got to create this first. Make sure it's all selected before you do that. I just deselected it. So start here. Go to the knee. Go to the ankle and the end of the foot. And start off. Okay, so if that one starts off forward, I guess I want this one to as well. I don't know. So frame 20, I'll insert a pose. And then I'll go back here and up. And by now, I think the other foot's going to be back as well. All right, so now I will simply go to frame 40, insert a pose, copy the pose from frame 1, stick it on frame 40. There we go. Wow, that's wonderful. All right, so now if we go to scene 1 now, back to the original timeline, this is what we're seeing. Nothing's happening. Doesn't matter if I hit enter, nothing's going to happen. But if I go out 40 frames and just insert a frame, you'll see that all those things have now come together. Oh, they haven't. Something went wrong. Let's double click on this and check. We went... Huh. Oh, you know what it was? That mouth stuff that I did, unfortunately, you gotta do all that after you've created your other animations, I think. Let me just remove these frames. Because let's go to frame 40, insert a frame. Wow. That arm just swings right with the legs. Yeah, it's probably better actually when you do the mouth stuff to do it on a new layer. So I'll just call this one mouth. And then you can animate that, you know, to your heart's desire. So delete, remove frames, and I'll go back down here. I'll just delete the mouth from there. And insert a keyframe.